Welcome, America, to the show so good it keeps Hunter Biden up at night. It's either this show or the drugs. Hey, it's an all-new episode of BulletPointnation. Who's that on the other side of America that I see?
Judd Dunning ringing in episode 103.
Wow, with power. 103. That's a combined total of how much sleep we've had since 2016. My name.
Sleep when you're dead, Michael Loftus.
That's right. Hey, I'm so happy to be here. Love this show. I'm going to tell the viewers how it works. We take 4 big topics, 1 wild card. Now, here's the thing. We've only got 3.5 minutes, so we got to get right to it. We got to give you the bullet points, Judd Dunning.
Thank you, Michael Loftus. I take it that's my cue. Producer. Bam. Oh, he's getting fast on the trigger. Let's see how long that lasts. Bullet point number 1, Michael Loftus. Trump is back, Jack, and America is first again. If he even knew he was speaking because the mainstream media canceled Cabal.
Oh, we got to discuss that. Now, what's bullet point number 2?
Bullet point number 2, Comrade AOC strikes again, this time at her own grandmother. How do you say lame in Puerto Rican?
I want to say it in Costa Rican. What's bullet point number 3?
By the way, we're annexing Costa Rica. It's private. We'll talk about it. It's the wild card, the 53rd state. No kidding. All right. Bullet point number 3. St. Fauci falls from grace, and his emails are just the vaccine passport he needs to cross the borders into hell.
Fauci, ouchie. Bullet point number 4.
Hey, my, stop the steal will never die in Maricopa, Arizona.
We have got all that. We're going to get you the information you can only get here. You're not going to see it on the mainstream media. But first, we got to roll that sweet, sweet graphics package.
I love that part. That's my favorite.
Listen, it's not a good episode of Bullet Point Nation if we don't hit him with the smolder.
That's true.
All right. So let's jump in. We got producers that are standing by, fingers on the buzzers. We're going to get to the information people can only get here. You're not going to get this in the mainstream media. Let's jump in to bullet point number 1.
Boom. Trump in North Carolina, the GOP, his return was great. It was grand. It brought Newsmax up to compete with Fox. It's actually, there's only a few places to watch it. You can watch it on Epoch News. He was great, man. I tell you, I could barely find it. I had to type in Iran to find it. Then my computer got infected by the same virus that elected Joe Biden. But it was great to see him on the stage. He was exceptionally calm. He wasn't reactive. He was intelligent. He was pointed. He was clear. I was with 10 other people watching him, and everyone's like, God, clarity, honesty, transparency. Oh, nobody talks like that. It was Trump unplugged, but he was perfectly healthy. He wasn't being reactive. And at the very end, he pivoted into this beautiful the MAGA march of patriotism, of exceptionalism. It's fantastic. And you know what? Here's the deal. He's back. He's a kingmaker. He's doing it on the trail. Will it be him? We don't know. Don Jr. says maybe. We're not sure, but he's keeping the excitement up. And you know what? He's back there because Capitol Hill didn't fully discredit him. They didn't find guns. There's all this conspiracy around. We know a lot of the Democrats were the people that are storming, and we know a lot of it was done, but it's been buried in the news. Michael Loftus.
I, too, had a hard time finding this and desperately wanted to watch it. I had to pay Russian hackers ransomware. I had to pay them in Bitcoin so I could watch it on YouTube. It's fantastic. And shame on every network for not carrying it. This is news. It's so now you've got Facebook, Twitter, all of social media, and the traditional old school press. That's dangerous because there is excitement when Trump starts talking. And I feel like we just got the appetizer. When Trump does these live events, it's so exciting, it's so energizing, and it's like, ooh, I'll have another bite of that, please. Ooh, what else do you have? Ooh, you have some America First lasagna? I'll have a big
escargot.
Right? I will take it all. It's great. And I'm not looking for Trump to make an announcement at his next speech, but it's enough just to get him out there, and America will find him. It's exciting. It's what we need. The people are ready.
Yeah, I think the big thing is that time. I think the big thing is that, I do think that Trump really does put America first. And if he ends up being a thought leader and a movement leader, and he'll pivot for a DeSantis Noam ticket from South Dakota, I think it's possible. But I don't know if America will let him in the polls. I mean, I have to tell you, the excitement, the clarity, the economy, everything he brought that I still would stand is stolen. It seems back. So moving on, bullet point number 1. Great to see Trump back. It was a breath of patriotic air, Michael Loftus.
Yes, without a mask. Moving on, bullet point number 2.
Woo! Bullet point number 2. Oh, Comrade AOC strikes again. Look, man, this is crazy. I mean, if you think about AOC, everyone knows what happened this last week. She tweeted about her abuela, which is her grandmother. When she went down, she finally got her COVID pass to go to Puerto Rico. By the way, she could have gone to Costa Rica a long time ago. My friends were going down there to hang out. So there's not been, so she also doesn't visit her grandmother regularly. That's pretty much how she politicized that. So she lays down her Soylent Green wrap from Whole Foods. She hops in her Tesla from her luxury apartment, and Comrade AOC goes down, sees her grandma, takes a picture of some tiles falling, and says that because of Hurricane Maria being held back, this is Trump's fault. She politicizes it. And the best thing, it was the reaction. Matt Walker raised $100,000 to fix up her grandmother's apartment. And they said, no, we didn't really need it. So she got busted, politicizing, playing the socialist card. I'll end with this. I'll pivot to you. Look, she's the 13th most famous Democrat of all time, with a rabid 41 hard disapproval from Democrats in America. It's shallow. It's sensationalized murder through socialism, and she got busted.
It's wonderful to watch. It was just so delicious how the story kept unfolding. And you're right. AOC, or as I like to call her, Sandy, she is the poster child for the modern socialist. She looks good on the outside, but inside there's nothing. And what kind of absolute monster lets their grandmother live in squalor for 4 years.
Was it really even squalor? I mean, dude, people in Puerto Rico will live on be happy in a box. But she made her average probably living like this aberration caused by Trump. I mean, it's crazy. She could at least buy her a bed.
John, that's what I'm saying. It's been since 2017. It's been 4 years her grandmother's living like that. That takes throwing somebody under the bus to a whole nother level. And that's how socialists work. They want the government to fix it. They don't want personal responsibility. And they don't care if you suffer. They don't even care if it's their own grandmother. We got to move on.
Yeah, but I want to say she's an original socialist. And we realize that because she's willing to throw her own grandmother under the bus to move the party forward. She really, now we know she really is a socialist.
It's shocking. All right. Bullet point number 3.
Bullet point number 3, St. Fauci falls from grace in his emails of the vaccine passport that get him into hell. I just have to repeat it. Look, man, very interesting week for all of us in America. Look, I hope, I'm going to jump out ahead of this with this scandal and say, it looks like America, Fauci did not kill himself. Because this guy is busted red-handed. I mean, he knew about gain of function. He knew that he didn't need vaccines. He knew that masks didn't work. He knew that it was recommended for him to not follow the lockdown policies. I mean, everything that he claimed. Oh, and he knew that the virus was weaponized in a lab. by actual Chinese humans, everything that he said was clearly distinguished. And yet here we are in the tumble dry American wash cycle. Are you hearing about the problems with the elections? Are you hearing about, nope, just keep it moving. It's okay, it was just Fauci, But if it was Trump, it's headline news, it's 2 impeachments. What are we doing? What's happened to this guy? I say we need to bring him up on charges, Michael Loftus.
Well, you're absolutely right, Judd. And if it was Trump, today would be the last day of the trial, and he'd be executed tomorrow on TV with a firing squad. This is beyond outrageous. Like the Trump-Russia collusion thing, I thought was as far as we go. But now we've got 500,000 dead Americans, and Fauci knew that hydroxychloroquine worked. He knew masks were worthless. He knew the thing like you listed about the lab, all of it. And he had us on a wild goose chase for the last year. And then when you watch the way he's treated by the mainstream media, and they're just like, boy, you had a lot of emails to read. A lot of people really liked you. It's beyond criminal. We definitely, any congressman who pushes for an investigation, I support 110%. This, because it's going to happen again. If we can't stop this gain of function research, and if we can't have a standard for these labs that are just inventing these bioweapons, oopsie, says China. No more oopsies. No more oopsies.
Exactly. And the thing is, they're saying that gain of function is a systematic system that they're able to find out where they can take the virus and able to beat it, et cetera. But this was weaponizing COVID and SARS, and he distinguishedly lied about it. I mean, breaking news, Fauci's gonna be like, oh, masks are back over your eyes, so you can't read my emails. I mean, he continually misled us. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Why isn't this the biggest news? And here's the thing, Biden is in England right now saying, hey, we're just pouring out the RNA virus. Well, guess what, man? There's been like 5,000 deaths here, 13,000 abroad. There's been like 2 million serious deaths. They're saying that a lot of the effects of this RNA vaccine that liberals are pushing in for this cult club of the vaxxed and the unvaxxed, this classism we're creating. He said in his emails, it wasn't necessary with the right protocols for a vaccine to even treat a SARS-CoV strain. But we're continuing to push this because it devises the country for political power. But we may be completely damaging immune systems for decades to come. So is that genocide? That's a real question. That's not a right-wing alt question.
It's a science question, and it's deeply disturbing, especially now with that latest study about hydroxychloroquine being published that shows it increased your survivability 300%. And that's for people who were hospitalized and on ventilators. So we got to move on. Yeah, that's a great shirt. We should give those away to a lucky subscriber. Let's go. Let's go. Bullet point number 4. I love how we're moving. We're a freight train.
Boom. Yeah. Well, since I already said, hey, my stop, the steel will never die earlier, I will say now, and Arizona and Maricopa's 80% audit will not burn out and fade away. For you Neil Young people, listen, they are churning and looking at these audits. North Carolina is now actually being looked at by Democrats who want to make sure that whether Trump won or Trump lost in that they're actually doing it reverse. I say bring it. That's what's happening. PA, Wisconsin is down there, and they're doing everything they can to take America's focus away. We have 80% counted there. And you know what? So what if it doesn't yield exactly what we want? But what I've been hearing, and what I saw also there was an additional judge that just came out and said that, hey, these are all photocopied. There looks like thousands and thousands of photocopied. Oh, they're not creased properly. Oh, they're dead voters. Oh, there's still issues with the computers. America's on this situation. And what happened is we don't have a system without using the military to reverse this. This has never happened. So what's going to happen if Arizona is clearly fraud? We're going to go to Wisconsin. We're going to go back, et cetera. I'd say, look, more than half of us, at least half of us, think that there was a definitive steal going on, and we're going to get close to one of the recounts where they've really protected that Maricopa County. So I think it's great. I hope that we have a crisis of confidence because we'll do this. And last night, I'll end with this and pivot over to you. Joe Manchin said, hey, I'm not going to support SR1. We don't need one party controlling America by dividing America and federalizing our elections. So good job, Joe Manchin. He's going to run. I know he's got to run for president. He's in such a situation of power right now. And he's kind of a moderate Democrat. So God bless the guy.
Yeah, and thanks. Big shout out to Joe Manchin, like you're saying, for standing up and stopping this federalization of HR1. With the whole recount, I think there's one thing I'll bring us together for a moment. Let's have a little kumbaya moment. The left and the right, we can all agree, vote by mail was a horrible idea. You've just got the shadow of doubt, and the shadow of doubt ruins everything. We need voter ID. There's overwhelming support on the left and the right for voter ID. There's nothing racist about it. One person, one vote, it gives you clarity. I love that these recounts are going on because I want Americans to question everything. It's healthy. Question it all, people.
Yeah, no, seriously, the progressive theft, the progressive left is sitting on their, on their toes, just waiting. That's not the right saying. Sitting on pins and needles. They're sitting on pins and needles waiting for this tally to come out. But let me ask you this. Let's say this ahead of the time. You're in the matrix of bullet points with Michael and Judd. What's the distraction going to be? What's going to happen if there was theft? How is that going to fall? This is the time for you, the viewer, for you, the American, to be watching. And what are the solutions to this situation? It's going to be whitewashed through big tech. It's going to be, everything is. Hunter just, as you brought up earlier, Hunter just dropping the N-word is going to be whitewashed through the system. There's such a lack of accountability. What we have to do is use the courts when we don't have control of the legislative branch. We have to use the judicial branch. And then we, the people, have to get out there and use free speech. And then we have to win back 2022. That's all we can do.
That was the perfect cue on the crowd noise. We got to keep Americans active, keep them informed, citizen journalists, and sharing information.
Do you have your guitar close by? Is your guitar close by? Because I think you should play a promo time song. We need an opener. Is it within strumming distance?
Sadly, I don't. It's my electric.
I should have asked you. Okay. So Michael Loftus, by the way, go to his channel. He did a great, he's starting to musically opine on our great country as we go to promo time. So here, thank you very much. Here we are, and my horrible singing. So Mike, what's going on? I know you've been busy as a bee. You've been crushing it on Gutfeld. What a fun show. It's amazing to see you on there. What's happening in the world of Loftus?
Well, as well as appearances on Gutfeld, I'm putting together a stand-up tour. It's going to kick off this summer in Las Vegas in August. I gotta get my summer on. I'm not the whole cooped up thing. I'm popping out of my cocoon like a butterfly, Judd. I'm going on tour. Kicks off in August. Go to theloftusparty.com for all the updates, and hopefully my book will be out soon. What?
Okay, let's hear it. I didn't even get to shame you for a year on the air about this. Tell me.
I know. So let's kick it over. What's new in the world of Judd Dunning other than
new in the world of Judd Dunning?
Newsmax now?
What's that?
Are you running Newsmax? Is that your network now?
Oh my God! Cut. Just remove that. No, but we're having a blast every Thursday on the National Port. Every Friday, I'm on America Agenda Happy Hour, so I get an hour to unwind. That's a lot of fun. Special thanks to Michael for writing the occasional joke. Man, it takes a village, people. It takes a village. The only thing from Hillary Clinton I will quote that she quoted from somebody else. But the show's been great. Doing Unapologetic, inspired by the Loftus Party. So I'm working with another comedian buddy of mine who's been getting the chops together. So that's been a lot of fun. Definitely cancel culture stuff. Doesn't get far out of the gate. Having a great time on that. Doing this show with you, and they've asked me to start working on another book. So another book is in the works toward the year, and we're about to put it on audio book. And being that I don't like narcissists we're going to move on to the wild card.
I love
it. But enough about me. Okay, let's talk about
me.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Okay, wild card. Thank you so much, producer. So welcome to the wild card. Often chosen by Michael Loftus. This week, Judd Dunning got lucky.
Yeah.
And we are in the wild card, which I am going to give you my line here. Okay, naked in Philly, but mask required. The annual naked bike ride can't figure out the legislation. So they're going to be like, oh, well, we're going to keep masks. So you got quite a sight coming up as the annual Philly bike ride was actually illegal with World Naked Bike Ride Day starts. So Michael Loftus.
What a ridiculous thing. First of all, with all we know about masks, you're going to have a bunch of naked people in Philadelphia riding completely naked, but they're going to wear masks. That's just ridiculous. Now, for the overall bike ride, I think it says a lot about Philly that it's not like a naked bike walk. Like, they need to be moving fast. They're like, hey, it's Philly. We need to be able to go. We need to be able to get out of here if it goes south. So let's get on our bike.
No bicycle seats allowed. No bicycle seats allowed. You got to get a little wider seat. Probably a requirement.
Yeah, you know what? And I don't find they say there's no sexual
no sexual harassment.
No sexual harassment, and I think that's good. I think that was probably going to happen anyway. I think I have to imagine the kind of person who feels confident getting naked in Philly and being in public. I think I don't think we're worried about Instagram models participating.
Well, this guy's dressed like Satan. So, but let me ask you a question. It's more of a philosophical question. If you had a bike accident and you ended up accidentally making love to someone else in the accident, would that be sexual harassment? I mean, I'm sure.
Your Honor, our bikes, we collided, and she flipped up and I flipped up, and it just happened. I think you better have it on videotape for your own defense.
Now, you ran in to a man, and you're a man, and it happens. Are you gay afterwards? Probably not.
No.
And that shows my age.
I just want to say, I'm looking at the slide behind you, and is that evil Mike Pence back there behind the guy? Behind the red
I don't think she's wearing anything but a magic marker. So there is some.
The other picture. Look over your other shold, Judd. Your other. Oh,
shoulder. Right behind him. Right. Yeah. Right.
Is that evil Mike Pence behind that guy?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it, doesn't it? Right behind Satan. No, that's right when he denied the Capitol with the counting of the ballots. That's when that happened. But let's tell you a little bit more about this before we wrap up. The event aims to promote positive body image, a love for cycling as an environmentally friendly mode of transportation, no matter what you're wearing. So I don't know who created this thing, but it's like, hey, it's a reason to get naked.
I know who created it. A dude who sells a bike seat disinfectant. That's who created it.
All right. I have to say, I rarely get a good wild card. I'm like, it's usually like a nerd study of, we're now mining on the moon. Michael's like, what? This is not at wild at all. So here we are. It's just real quick promo I'm going to shift to. Guys, check out my book on Amazon. And soon it comes Michael's 13 Half Reasons Why Not to Be a Liberal and How to Enlighten Others on Amazon or Newsmax 13. Check out the Loftus channel at the Loftus Party. Yes. Mike can tell you a little bit about that.
We're having fun every week. We're dropping videos. We're doing comedy. There's songs. Go to the Loftus Party on YouTube or theloftusparty.com. Judd, this was a great episode. I know it's episode 103, but it felt like episode 1 in my heart.
I want to do this on a naked bike, buddy, right there when you drive by. All right, thanks for coming to Bullet Point, to Bulletpoint Nation. We'll see you next week. God bless you. God bless America. But before I sign up, Michael, take us home.
We love you. Subscribe, drop a comment, and hit that bell button. That way you'll get notified whenever we drop a new video, which happens every week. Skadoosh. Have a good one. We love you, Bullet Point Nation.